Hey guys, and welcome back to Art Theories. This week we are discussing Olivia Laing's Funny Weather, Art in an Emergency. This book was published in 2020 and it seems to be really popular in the art community. Like, I see a lot of people reading about it and I've heard people talking about it, and it's taken me ages to finally get around to reading it. The book is basically a collection of essays and biographies about artists and love letters to artists. And there's a kind of theme that flows through all the essays about how can we use art in a time of crisis? How can art nourish us? What can art do for us? How does art give us hope in the darkest moments of history? And these essays are written between 2015 and 2020. So the sorts of crises she's mainly referring to are the refugee crisis, Brexit, and Trump. But she also talks a lot about gay artists in the 80s who were dealing with the AIDS crisis and other things like that, drawing parallels and taking bits of wisdom. I particularly enjoyed some of her artist biographies. Like, I feel like I really got to understand Derek Jarman a bit better through this book, and Hilary Mantel, and who else was it? Agnes Martin, and someone else, Georgia O'Keeffe. I really enjoyed that chapter. She does a really good job humanizing the artists she writes about, and after you've read her chapters on them, or at least I felt like I could understand the work of those artists slightly better, because they'd kind of been brought to life and humanized, and I'd understood their personal struggles as well as their artistic struggles a little bit better. Having said that, I did really struggle with this book, and I didn't necessarily enjoy it very much. The thing that I found the most challenging is that the essays are kind of very separate. Like, it felt like she'd written a bunch of essays and then as an afterthought said, oh, I might as well make these into a book, because they're all quite separate and they're not actually connected. I know I said that there's this theme of art in an emergency, but it's quite a light theme from far away. There's no like narrative or no direct links between the essays. And so it kind of got quite exhausting to read a chapter, stop, and then the next chapter is completely separate and you didn't really need to read the chapter before to understand the next chapter. It just felt a bit disconnected at times, and I found that kind of frustrating. Interestingly, whilst I was doing the research for this video, I came across a book review of Funny Weather by The White Pube, who actually said that they gave up on the book. They were finding it so frustrating. They wrote the following: "Something about this was such a buzzkill, and I think it was the format. Like, it's just made up of little snippets. Some of the essays are only 3 pages, which felt really short. Like, as soon as I thought something was interesting, it got cut off by a gear change into another topic." And for me, that summed it up perfectly. That's exactly the same experience I had. So yeah, there are a few things I liked about the book, but on the whole, I found it quite frustrating and I didn't enjoy it that much. If you read the book and you had any thoughts which are different, put them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.